Okay, now look, even though this is a product that you're making that doesn't have preservatives, so it has a very short lifespan even in the fridge, so around 7 to 10 days maximum, okay? And then you're going to wash everything, of course. Now, here's the thing, and this is what happens to my friend Autumn all the time. Like, she tells people, well, people are asking about her, comes into conversation about her hair, she's making her own product, so you might get people, friends, family go, can you make me some? Now, again, I don't want to get into the laws and legalities of the countries, and so don't do it if you can't. But, for friends and family, this sort of thing, they might say, hey, I'd love to try it. And you might want to go, well, okay, well, I'll make you some up. How do you price that? Okay, that's what I want to go through in this lecture, because you don't want to be just giving away and losing money. This is your work, your hard work. So you want to price it, and you might want to make a little bit of money on it. Your time, your effort. So what are the things you have to factor in, and how do you price it? Okay, let's go through it. So if you're using, you're going to have to use a bottle, so you'll need to factor in the cost of that. Okay, so there's that, and then there'll be certain things like you're not going to charge for a lemon, depending on your aloe vera. Certain things, depending on the quantity. Some things you might, doesn't matter. But when we start talking essential oils, if you're putting in expensive essential oils, you absolutely may want to be knowing what the price is, because some drops can be 10 cents a drop. So you put a few drops in, that's going to add up over time. Right, so what do you do? So very simply, whatever product it is, you work out how many, say, milligrams or milliliters or ounces, fluid ounces, and the amount you put in your product, and then you just deduct. So you get the total cost. So let's say this is my olive oil. So the olive oil, it's a litre. Okay, I use 20 mils, so I divide the total cost. So the litre, what did that bottle cost me? Okay, let's say it was $10, and then I've used 20 mils, 30 mils of fluid ounce for those that are doing an imperial. So, and then you'll take off that price. So you divide that, how many mils in the total, how many ounces are in the total. So you see what I mean? Like, you just deduct it, so you divide that amount that you've used. That'll give you your price. So you just get your pen and paper, and you just write down, okay, olive oil, it's going to cost you this amount, and keep that somewhere so that you can always refer back to it, because you might forget, what was the price of that? Okay, so that's what you do. So you get all of the ingredients you're using, and some you might have to do a bit of a guesstimate if you're using your own aloe vera out of your garden, so some things you might have to guess around, okay? Essential oils, well, that can become expensive. If you decide to put essential oils in there, depending on the ones that you use, especially if you're using more expensive essential oils. Here's the easy way to remember this one. Well, that was easy as well, but okay, so we've got here, so 5 mils is around about 100 drops, more or less 100 drops. But if you just remember, 5 milliliters is 100 drops. So this is 30 milliliters, okay? So times 6, so 600 drops. For you doing imperial, that is 30 mils is an ounce, 1 fluid ounce. So, okay, so it's a fluid ounce. So what you're doing is, so you've got 600 drops. So let's see that. So we're going to, how many drops you are, you're going to, your 600 drops, your 30, what did that cost you? What did that bottle cost you? And then you're going to divide that down to work it out. So let's say this was 5 mils, and it cost me $10. So there's 100 drops, so that'll be 10 cents a drop, I believe. Something like that, yes. 10 drops, 10 cents a drop. So if I use 5 drops, well, that's going to be 50 cents. So that's going to start adding up after a while. So those are the sorts of things you can just work, if you want to say, someone, your cousin, your friends, your family, this sort of thing, they say, hey, would you make me some? Well, then and then of course you put on your markup after that. So, but that'll give you your cost price, okay? And then you factor in your time, your energy, and so you put on whatever you feel comfortable, whether you mark it up 100%, 50%, whatever it is above your cost. Okay, so if that's what you want to do, again, remember, I don't know your laws, your regulations, this sort of thing. Because obviously you're not going to put this on a shop shelf because it doesn't have preservatives in it, right? So you'll make it up for that person if that's what you want to do. Tell them to take this home, put it in the fridge, keep it in the fridge, and it needs to be replaced, in another 7 days. So obviously you've got to make the size so it's not a huge bottle. So you factor in that size. Say about 7 to 10 days, we need to get you another one. And so you can do that if you want, if that's what you want to be doing, say, for your family and friends and what have you.